I thought long and hard about this over the last few hours because I had no intentions, Molly, of talking about this at all. Clearly took exception to some of the things that he heard me say, and he confronted me about it.
Floyd's broke. You gotta understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
I believe that Floyd Mayweather has gone completely broke. And not just broke, but millions and millions of dollars in debt. And I know it sounds crazy to some of you out there, but trust me, I have legitimate proof.
StephenA. Smith has called out Floyd Mayweather for allegedly making false claims about owning 62 buildings valued at $42 million. According to reports, Mayweather only holds minor shares in the properties, not full ownership, as he suggested. StephenA. questioned whether Mayweather exaggerated his assets to protect his image in the face of bankruptcy rumors and growing speculation about his involvement in a possible $42 million scam.
Into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on the regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings, all belong to me.
StephenA. Smith has never hesitated to give Floyd Mayweather his due. He's consistently praised Mayweather's boxing legacy, especially noting how Floyd remained undefeated throughout the second half of his storied career. Smith has frequently highlighted Mayweather's discipline, unparalleled defensive skills, and flawless record as undeniable proof of his greatness. In StephenA's eyes, Mayweather was more than just a fighter. He was a strategic genius and technical master who fought with precision of someone determined not just to win, but never to lose. That level of dominance earned him admiration from both fans and experts alike.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, I'm gonna embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
However, the admiration began to fade once Floyd Mayweather transitioned into a new chapter of his career, exhibition bouts post-retirement. Unlike his earlier fights that were driven by legacy and competition, these appearances seem more financially motivated. His exhibition match with Logan Paul, a YouTube-turned amateur boxer, stood out as a prime example. StephenA. Smith didn't hold back in criticizing the decision, arguing that the fight lacked any real competitive value. For someone who once reigned supreme in the sport, stepping into the ring with a non-professional opponent felt less like a celebration of skill and more like a blatant cash grab, far removed from the greatness Mayweather had built his name on.
Boxers, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor, not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
I just believe.
StephenA. Smith didn't stop with his criticism of the Logan Paul fight. In several interviews, he voiced his discomfort with Mayweather's entire exhibition strategy. While he acknowledged that fighting Conor McGregor made sense, given McGregor credentials in combat sports, he drew a firm line after that. According to Smith, Mayweather choosing opponents who didn't match his level of skill just for an easy payday was damaging to the legacy he had worked so hard to build. For Smith, it was clear. Mayweather seemed more focused on accumulating wealth than on preserving his place in boxing history. The narrative was unmistakable. Money had taken precedence over meaning.
Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it.
This issue became undeniably clear during one particularly pointed interview where StephenASmith directly asked Mayweather, asterisk, what matters more, your money or your legacy? Asterisk, it was a question that demanded deep reflection. Yet Mayweather's answers repeatedly centered on finances. He proudly discusses business acumen and the revenue he generated. But for Smith and many others, it seemed like Mayweather was prioritizing wealth over respect and lasting impact that a true legacy in boxing brings.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
Well, we ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises for them, for my loved ones.
But fear.
This money-driven image has shaped the mindset of a new generation of athletes. StephenASmith argued that today's rising stars don't look up to Floyd for his skills, footwork, or legendary ring IQ. Instead, they admire his bank account, the spectacle, and the persona. According to Smith, this trend is detrimental to the sport, as it sends a message that wealth outweighs mastery. In doing so, it threatens to undermine everything Floyd once represented in boxing.
It's the businessman in Mayweather they actually love even more. As the sun clearly set on the boxing career of Mayweather, many can reflect on a lot of things about the man. He wasn't a Mike Tyson-like knockout artist, or even Tommy the Hitman Hearns. To many, he wasn't even Sugar Ray Leonard. He certainly can't be confused with Muhammad Ali or any other fighter who's ever been socially conscious. No doubt he was guilty of domestic violence, as our very own The Undefeated accurately pointed out. He definitely had his share of boring fights that didn't give the people what they actually wanted to see. But that ain't the legacy these athletes are paying attention to. What they're paying attention to instead is the $1 billion plus Mayweather has earned in his career. How box office he made himself. How he's been his own boss, answerable to no commissioner, no owner, no GMs, and barely even the fans for the last decade in achieving unprecedented wealth, fame, and control of his own name, his own brand. And how despite strenuous efforts by so many to bring him down, they simply weren't able to do it. You want to see an athlete drool? The idolized displaying deference and respect? Watch.
This shift in priorities became painfully clear when Floyd was asked why he chose to fight Logan Paul instead of a more high-profile boxer like Tyson Fury. Floyd's response was telling. Logan had more followers. That was it. No mention of skill, legacy, or competition, just social media clout. To many, including StephenA, this highlighted how Mayweather's focus had entirely shifted. He wasn't boxing for the challenge or to build his legacy anymore. He was boxing for attention and money.
Why fight Logan Paul?
Name another boxer besides myself that's more famous than Logan Paul.
Tyson Fury?
What? I want you to look up Tyson Fury, how many followers, and look up how many followers Logan Paul has.
Logan Paul, 56 million. Tyson Fury, 4 million.
So 50 compared to 4 something. I can fight a fighter right now, guarantee myself 35 million. Or me and Logan Paul can go out and entertain and have fun and make 100 million or more. So if you were me, you gotta look at 35 million for 12 rounds and 100 for 6 rounds. Big difference.
At one point, Floyd Mayweather was recognized as the highest paid athlete in the world, not just in boxing but across all sports. This reputation earned him respect. However, as new details and rumors about his finances emerge, his legacy is beginning to take a hit. The man who was once celebrated for his perfect planning and discipline is now facing scrutiny over the very wealth he's long boasted about.